Hi, last year I read 54 shoujo mangas and today I'm going to be rating them on a 5-tier system. Starting from the bottom up, we've got the trash tier. These are for mangas that I DNF'd and just really disliked. Didn't like the plot and they probably included some tropes that I wasn't keen on. Then we've got the doesn't slap tier. These are for mangas where they have potential. However, the story didn't go the way I wanted it to. The plot might have got a bit boring. Potential DNF, but maybe I pushed through to the end. But yeah, it just didn't hit for me. Then we've got the meh tier, which are for mangas that I'm just reading for the sake of it. I read a lot of shoujo mangas when I'm hungover, ill, or like feeling down because they're cozy reads for me. So sometimes I literally read anything without doing much research and it ends up just being copy paste, nothing special. I'm not invested in the story, but it hits like what I need in that moment. So yeah, that's the mez. Then we've got the eat it up every time tier. These are for mangas that I freaking love. I'm invested in all of the characters, like main and side. I probably could read it more than once. I'm a diehard fan. They make me giggle. They're just special and I love them. And then we've got the elites. These are for mangas that can do no wrong. I have cried my freaking eyes out whilst reading it. They might even include tropes that I'm not keen on. However, I'm so invested in the main characters that I don't care. They are elites. They can have other things that I don't like in it, but I'm so in love with the story and the romance that they're just top tier and they are the elites. So before I get into the video, quick disclaimers, all of the titles are going to be English titles, but I'll pop all the Japanese titles in the description box below in case you don't recognize the manga by the name. And also, because there's 54, I cannot go into detail about the plots here because it's going to be like a 4-hour video. So all I'm going to do is basically do a couple of pointers why it's in the tier. But if you want to know more about the manga, like volumes or about the plot, about the characters, pop in the comments below and I'll answer all your questions. So yeah, just so I can keep this as short as I can, it's going to be kind of whistle stop, but I'm going to be hyping when they need to be hyped. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm excited for this. I've got about 30 seconds per one to keep this video short, so I'm feeling the stress, but I'm going to try and do it. If I can't do it, this will be two-parters. So if there's part one in the title, I have failed miserably, and yeah, I've just spoken too long. So the first manga we have today is, to say the least, This Is Love. Okay, eat it up every time. I'm doing it. It follows Ren, who's a delinquent, Riza, who is a quiet, really smart girl, but she always has the answers for everything and she always has like an umbrella for the rain. Everything you need she has. She's very cautious. And yeah, it's about their little meet cute and how she kind of gets to know all the delinquents and realise they're not actually that bad. It's sweet. And the main characters I'm just in love with. I'm in love with them. If you want a cutesy delinquent story, it's for you. Then we've got Koyakuba-kun, Stole My First Time. This is technically a Josie, but because the female is 29 years old and not like young. But people who like shoujo mangas really like this, and in a lot of like online it's deemed a shoujo manga because she's like really inexperienced, she's obsessed with video games, and then basically this younger guy joins her company and like starts working on her floor because he used to work downstairs or something like that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And he's kind of like, I will teach you basically the ropes of romance, and it goes from there. Oh, I am enjoying it, you know. It sounds corny, and I don't usually like that trope where the woman doesn't know anything, and definitely when she's the older woman as well, but it's actually quite cute. And you know what? I thought the guy was like a red flag. He's turning into a green flag. So I'm going to say eat it up every time. And I'm shocked because I usually hate the trope. The girl is an airhead and knows nothing, and the boy kind of takes advantage and teaches her everything. But to me, this is done tactfully and I freaking love it. Right, we have our first elite people. How I Met My Soulmate. If you haven't read this, where have you been? The artwork, stunning. Fashion sense of each character, stunning. We have our two main Bs. Iro? Oh, it's I-O-R-I. I'm actually going to say Anyway, it follows and Yuri, and she's basically really wanting to find her. And now I'm getting a call. Brilliant. Decline. Anyway, Yuri just wants to find her soulmate, basically, and she has a meet with this guy who isn't interested in any of that. He's just trying to find his brother, and they end up just forming a friendship. But I'm telling you, the side character storylines are epic, addictive. It's amazing. I can't wait for the updates. 10 out of 10 recommend. Read it now. They're all in college or university. And he is freaking hot. He is a massive green flag on MC. Actually, all the dudes are hot and the girls are hot. There's so many. There's like 9 storylines going on, or like 9 characters, and you care about each one, like what's happening with each. So give it a read. You're my cutie. Eat it up every time. Jesus, there's a lot of eats it up already, which makes me nervous. But this is 2 main characters. They go to separate schools, but they ending up working at the main character, who is called Madoke. Her ramen shop, basically, like her parents own it. And yeah, they go to different schools. He's 2 years younger, and she's really into like cutesy guys, but he's really hot, but he's moody looking, bit rugged, and he doesn't like girls at all because they're always all over him. He gets really nervous and he has no experience. Her being older, she has some experience, and it's about their little love story. And I'm telling you, he is adorable. Do you want an adorable MC? Do you want he falls as hard as she falls? And he kind of is the one chasing. It's good. And there's a cute love triangle. It takes a lot of boxes. Read it. Oh my God, I'm going to have to eat up every time again. In the clear moonlit dusk. Where have you been if you haven't read this again? Like, it's literally all over my socials. So freaking cute. Okay, we've got a younger girl, older guy, only by like a year. They're both known as the princes because she's really handsome. People mistake her as a guy, and he's just really hot in his year. She's obviously inexperienced, but I don't know how experienced he is, but she's like proper, hasn't had a kiss. I mean, most shoujo mangas, the girl is so inexperienced, so I don't even know why I'm saying that. But yeah, it follows them in school. It's a school life manga, and it's just cute, man. I do feel like he is a green flag. It's made me really giggle, and she is so lovable. You just want to wrap her up in a hug. He's just kind of comes along and rocks her world, basically, and changes it, turns it upside down. But she just needs to get more confident. It's just gone on a hiatus, and it ended on such a big reveal. So I'm dying for the update. I think it's starting back in April, so please, I need it. Okay, getting closer to you. This is going in, does not slap. No. I mean, it's just weird. The girl is obsessed with muscles. She doesn't even see guys as guys. She sees them as walking pieces of meat. And I'm not exaggerating here. She's just so obsessed with muscles, and she ends up being the manager of a basketball team because one of the guys like kind of fancies her, takes an interest in her, and is like, oh yeah, you can help us train because you know so much about muscles. I wouldn't mind it. I love a basketball manga as well. I freaking love it. I die for them. However, it's just too weird. Like, she's too obsessed with muscles. It just freaks me out. And how the guys, they kind of just take it, but then they get annoyed. And then she's like, oh yeah, I've never thought of guys as guys. And I mean, I'm still reading it. It's just not hitting. There's a love triangle going on. And I just want to shake her, wake her up, and tell her to grow up, basically. Am I being mean? I don't know. both the main guys are pretty hot, but again, the main guy who you kind of tell she's gonna get with, I think he's a bit of a red flag, so it is not slapping. Next, we've got Anyway, I'm Falling in Love with You. This is our first meh of the day. I was loving this. I was eating this up. It's about one girl. She's got 4 guy best friends. And on her 18th birthday, one of them's like, I really like you. I want to be with you. And it follows that story. It's set in 2020. And she's a bit like, oh my God, I never thought of you like that. And then you realise loads of them out of the 4, typical like her. But then it jumps 10 years in the future. So it kind of is like 2020 and 2030, and each chapter, like you see them in the future, so you don't know who she's going to end up with. It is good, but the female main character is so frustrating. And I don't think she's going to end up with the guy I want her to get with. And it's set in COVID. And I'm like, I don't really want to be reminded of COVID. So I'm still reading it. I'm not obsessed with it. And I'm thinking I should be if there's 5 main characters, but I'm not. It's a meh. Oh my. Then we've got Loving Yamada at level 999, I think it is. Yeah, 999. Has to go in Elite. Who isn't falling hard for Yamada? I mean, he is freaking green flag. He is hot. I don't know what the author was thinking. They literally went from him being a nerdy computer guy to then, I don't know, chapter 50, he just starts looking hot. And then chapter 69, and I like Akane. She's really sweet and cute. I think I want more drama in there, and the recent chapters have been a little bit boring. Like, I thought there was going to be a love triangle. There really wasn't. But I'm still loving it. It can do no wrong. It's set like gamery. If you haven't read it, I mean, I'd be shocked. But it's like he's a pro gamer. She gets dumped and then starts playing this game. And she joins like their Yield, I think it is, like his team of players. And about their romance, but also about her like finding friends and playing in this game. So it's so good. It's cute. It's hilarious. And it has some spice in there. Like PG spice, but yeah, it's got some really good moments, so give it a go. Okay, this manga name is a bit odd. It's like AM802. I think that's the bus they ride to school together, First Love, and I'm gonna have to mare it because it's not gripping me, but nothing's not slapping. It's just giving me what I need when I want to read it, because it's a typical shoujo manga. This girl rides the bus, she goes to an all-girls school, and then she likes this guy that's on the bus that goes to this like boy and girl school, and he's really popular, and they just have, I think they start fake dating, as in, oh, let's test out dating, because he's intrigued by her, but they're not really dating. And I think it's going to be a situation where she's really likes him already and she's pretty upfront with that, and he's going to slowly fall for her. That's what I assume is going to happen. I haven't read, there's not much out for me in England, but it's not special. It's okay. And nothing's wowing me. They haven't even gone on a proper date yet, so it's going in the meh. I love this one. A Sign of Affection. It's an Elite. Oh yeah. It's just turned into an anime actually, and I haven't watched it yet. So if you have watched it, comment below if it's good. But this is so freaking cute. I'm going to say cute so much in this video, but it's adorable. Yuki, she is deaf, and the way the author shows sign language in this book is really good. Our the male main character, Itsumi, I think that's how you pronounce it. He is like a traveler. He's, I think, 1 or 2 years older than her, but he's come back to study. It's set in college or uni. I don't know the difference in Japan between like college and uni. I think it's different to England. So they're just not in middle school or like secondary school. And what I love about this is she is forward. She like fancies him straight away and she kind of asks him out. It's about their love story and it's very unique, as in there's not much drama. I mean, if you want a drama manga, this is not for you. It's very smooth flowing, but it's shockingly, I'm not bored. I love it. And usually I like the drama. I love the love triangle. I love just crap happening, and I turn the page and I'm like, whoa, like I didn't expect this. However, it goes the way you want it to go, but it gives you everything you want because their love story is so adorable. And I like watching her grow, and the character development in her is amazing. And you find out all of her experiences being deaf. It's great. Read it. Okay, Poisonous Sting in Love. This is a meh. It's nothing special. It's typical shoujo manga fashion where the female main character really fancies this guy, but then her best friend gets with him, and then what ends up happening, she meets an older guy at this like mixer, like, you know, when they go on these little dates, it's like a drinks mixer, but it's not with drinks, like alcoholic, because they're in like middle school. And yeah, she meets him. I don't want to spoil it because actually I was quite shocked about who this guy really was, but he's kind of like, give up on love, it's so overrated. And she's like, just says, like, professes everything to him in terms of what she's going through in life. And he becomes kind of like her coach. But then there's a big moment where you find out who he really is and you're like, whoa. But it's just meh. It's nothing special, not really invested in their story. I'm happy with the way it ended. I did completely finish it, but it was one of those cozy reads and it hit me when I needed it. But I'm not going to reread it again. I didn't cry and meh in it. What the hell is this manga? Stray Cat and Wolf. This is trash and I'm not even sorry. If you've read Cheeky Brat, which is in this list, this is done by the same author, and when I picked this up, I thought it was them because they look so similar to the characters in Cheeky Brat. That wasn't a fart, that was my hand. If you Anywho, they look the exact same as the characters in Cheeky Brat. It's just freaking weird. She's in high school. She's new to the area. She's got no friends. She lived in a random town or in a mountain with no one there, basically. She moves to this town and bumps into the main guy. And then he just lets her stay at his, and he's older. He's not even in school. And then they form a relationship. Do you get where I'm coming from? It's just weird from the get-go. She's too not with it in terms of everything, like relationships, friendships, mannerisms. Like, it's like she's come out of the jungle, which I guess is the point of her character, but I just don't like it. Definitely how she's staying with the senpai straight away. And I don't actually vibe them together, so it's a trash. My Happy Marriage, eat it up every time. If you haven't watched the anime, blimmin' watch it. It's on Netflix. But if you've watched the anime but not read the manga, what are you doing? So much more is in the manga, and they change a lot of characters for me. Like, my outlook of the characters was different when I watched the anime, because in the manga you know more about their backstory, you get a lot more intel, and they missed some moments out where I was like, oh, that adds so much to the story. So if you love the anime, please read the manga. It's so good. Mio I love her journey, and Lord Kudo. I just like how he softens up for Mio and their relationship together. And I love the powers. I don't really read a lot of fantasy manga or like supernatural manga, and I liked that element in this story. It elevated the reading experience 100%. So adorable. I'm trying not to say cute because I'm going to tally up at 1 million by the end of this video. The reason why two people fell in love, Elite. Really good love triangle. Actually, a couple of love triangles in it, but she ends up with the guy I love. I don't even want to say, is it obvious? I think it is. But I don't want to say his name in case it's too spoilery, but I love him. He is the biggest green flag. He is amazing. The FMC annoyed me at times. However, just the guy, I want him in my life. I mean, I just want to wrap him up in a blanket and be like, everything's going to be okay. I mean, he goes through it in this. He does have a lot of character development, and the ending, I cried my eyes out. I cried like a baby. This is elite manga. It's amazing. Please read it. It's just so, it hit me here. And the journey is just great throughout. Then we've got Contact X Contact. This is just a one shot, and this is meh, because I wasn't left hoping it would be made into a whole manga series. It's just, there's nothing special about it. I feel like so many shoujo mangas are so similar. They need something like funniness or extra adorable or great artwork or something to make it that level up. However, this is just fine. It's about a girl who changes seats in a class, and the guy next to her likes the same band as her, and it's about like his best friend and her best friend and basically the four of them. That's all I'll say. It's good, go read it, it won't take long, but yeah, it's nothing special. Next we've got Azaya Senpai's favourite, and this is going in Doesn't Slap, and I will justify this because this probably would have been in Eat It Up every time, because I love a like fall for your brother's friend trope. I don't know why. It's probably because like you're not meant to do it. The brother's gonna get angry. I eat it up. I love it. There's nothing wrong with the main couple. There's good flirtatious moments. There's banter and there's good teasing moments. I really loved how it ended, but there was just too many freaking weird moments and tropes in it that I didn't like. The main one, her cousin loves her and like professes his love to her, and it's not deemed as a weird thing. No one questions it in the manga. She kind of has to be like, oh, I'm sorry, like, no. You shouldn't have to explain it. It's your cousin. Why? Oh, it's weird. I don't like it. It was messy. So it goes in Doesn't Slap. Then we've got Love in Focus, and this is going to go in meh. I mean, it was okay. If you like camera, like photography students and going to university, you'll like this manga because it's all about photography. There's love triangle straight away. There's childhood, like friend, romance potential. So if you like that trope, this is for you. And then like she basically moves this area to go to uni, and she lives in like a shared accommodation with guys and girls, and her childhood friend is there who's a year older, and then another guy is there. And yeah, she ends up with the guy that I want her to end up with. It just wasn't special. And to be fair, if she ended up with someone else, I would have been like, yeah, okay. But it's good, but nothing special. Next, we've got I Won't Ever Like You, My Senpai. This has to go in Doesn't Slap because she picks to go to a university because she met a guy at an open day and was like, oh my God, you're amazing. Like he was older and he was like repping the art club. I think it's art or photography club. And she's like, oh, I think I love him. I need to go to that school, join that club so I can meet him and be with him. But then obviously she gets into the university, she goes to the club, and he's actually a scumbag. And he's nothing like he was on the open day. You deserve it. Did I read it to the end? Yes. Did I like it? Yeah, it was okay. But they deserve each other because they both annoyed me throughout. Oh, okay. Next we've got Love Me Not. Sadly, it's going in Doesn't Slap. I mean, this is like a 13-volume book series, and I made it to volume 7, okay? I made it far, but then it got boring. So boring. Oh, the plot went nowhere. Like once the people got together who I wanted to get together, like the main couple, because there's 4 main people, but there's 2 mains out of the 4. You know how it goes. And when they get together, there's just nothing to the plot. It just felt really boring. So I dropped it, and it's very rare for me to drop a manga, but I did. I feel like it was too baby-y. In here as well, there is a I like my stepsister situationship, but it's done tactfully. And usually I DNF this straight away. However, this was done tactfully. I mean, tactfully enough, I made it to volume 7. So Give it a go. You might stick it to the end. But for me, once they got together, I mean, it was done. They could have ended it there. Next, Elite. Love Sick Ellie. If you haven't read this, read it now. This is hilarious. There's a few mangas I've cried at, and there's even fewer when I've cried through laughing. I have cried rolling on the floor laughing at this manga. The art, the situations, it's hilarious. The female main character is just, I love her. I love her. And the story was done so well and tactfully. And you're also invested in the side characters because she's got a best friend and she's got a childhood friend situation going on. But yeah, I want to ramble on about this manga, but I know I will. But imagine grumpy main character and then a cutesy, doe-eyed female main character, but she's actually really confident. She's really into like love and romance. She has her own Lovesick Ellie Twitter account where she makes fake situations about her fake boyfriend. Like she's kind of like writing stories and people follow her because she's hilarious. And just read it. I don't even know how to describe it other than that. I know I keep saying it, but read it. Okay, I'm gonna have to speed this up. I feel like I'm rambling too long. Okay, next we've got Cheeky Brat. This is frustrating for me because I want to put it in, eat it up every time, because this is a really long manga, many volumes. I loved it. I read till the end. There was one moment where I was like, who's going to end up with who? Because there was this weird love triangle situation going on. I love Naruse, the male main character. If you know, you know. He is freaking hot. He's a basketball player. I love him. He deserves to be an eat it up every time. But Yuki, I liked her at the beginning, but near the end, there's just situations where I'm just like, what are you doing? It's so annoying. And because of that, and the whole love triangle situation going on, again, I want to slap the guy, this other guy, to be like, wake up, you're not an idiot. Same with Yuki. There's just things that annoyed me near the end. So it has to go in doesn't slap, which is heartbreaking because Naruse deserves to be an eat it up every time. Should I just mare it? No, I'm sticking with the guns. I've got to be harsh here. I love it. I will have to do one of these things with like rating male main characters and like the side characters because he deserves it. Even though sometimes he's a bit pushy, he does have some red flag tendencies, but I love him. So yeah, that's my toxic trait. In the Village of Youth, eat it up every time. The female main character did frustrate me because, yeah, she's just a bit frustrating. However, the male main character and the female main character, it's continuous. They like each other at different times. And there's other stuff going on with other love interests. And it's like that throughout. And then, yeah, it's about their story. And it's great. I cried my eyes out at the end. Now looking back, I can't believe I did cry. But I feel like, does anyone else, you get swept up in a manga? Like definitely if you're reading it in a short space of time. And I just fell in love with their love story. And it's set in high school, like most of these. And yeah, I think there is a anime, but I haven't watched it. I 100% recommend it. Today Love Starts. I'm not even going to talk about this too long because it's trash. Literally, first chapter, the main character gets sexually assaulted by the main male character, and it's just deemed as like, well, you deserve it. And I tried to read through to a second chapter, just the amount of assault going on, and it's not even deemed bad. No, trash. Chuck it in the bin. I don't even care. The ends up being the best character ever. The beginning was just too bad. So it's a trash. Maid Sama. Where am I going to put this? I'm going to mare it. Don't kill me. Because I know this is a very, very beloved manga. However, it's just not gripping me. Basically, she's a maid and she has to work there and earn money. But she doesn't want anyone from school knowing because, yeah, she just doesn't. And a guy finds out she works there and it's about their relationship. It's really hilarious. There is good moments, but I just don't really mind them. He's a bit, again, sexually assaulty, but it's deemed okay. Don't get me wrong, he's not a bad guy, I don't think, but I don't really care about them. Is that bad? And the whole volume is out. Like, the whole series is out. But I'm reading it when I've got nothing else to read. So this is why it's meh. I'm sorry. But next, Kimi ni Todoke, From Me to You. This is elite. If you want a manga where, I mean, yes, there is a lot of miscommunication and it does egg it out too long and it gets really annoying, that doesn't matter because you love the main characters. You love the side characters. Do you want to wet yourself laughing? Do you want to cry because you're heartbroken and you're so happy for the characters? If it's a yes to all of these things, this is for you. It's freaking phenomenal. I haven't read seen the anime. I know there is one. If you have read it and it's good, please let me know again. But this is just phenomenal. I could do a whole YouTube video about how amazing this manga is. It's elite. It's probably the elitist elite there is today. And it's just hilarious. And I actually cried more at the side character storylines than the main two. That's how invested you get. Okay, Kara's First Love. This is the first shoujo manga I ever read. So in my teenage years. And I will admit, if I read it now, there is not situations which isn't good in it. However, I reread this every other year. It's an elite for me. It can do no wrong. Yes, there's questionable behaviour. I just love Karen and Kiria's character development together and separately. And yes, he is a bit pushy, but it's a learning experience, as in he does it and she kind of puts him in his place and then it's just, how can I put this? It's realistic because guys are pushy, but usually the girls fall victim to it. However, they learn together and he's like, yeah, I shouldn't be like this. And she's also like, I need to be more confident in myself, but you can't push me to do it. Anyway, I don't want to get into it. It's just really good. The only thing I don't like is that it's the whole glasses situation where she takes off her glasses, then she's the most beautiful person ever. What is the issue with glasses in shoujo mangas? They hate them, or the writers hate them. As soon as the main character takes them off, she's the best, which is frustrating, but hey ho. We're about halfway through now, and I feel like this is being a long video. So I think I am gonna cut it here. And I really didn't want to. But otherwise it's gonna go on for too long, so yeah. That is the first 26, I believe, or maybe that was 27. The tier system's looking good, a lot of elites. It's gone down quite nicely. I'm really happy with how it's looking. If you haven't read any of these, and I've said to read them, do. If there's actual shoujo mangas that I haven't talked about today, they might be in the next part, but if they're not, I am always looking for shoujo manga recommendations, so please comment them below. Felt a bit chaotic, but hope you liked this video. See you in part 2. Yeah, bye.